Hello, my name is Mary Akehurst, and I'm in Minnesota. And today I have a good friend and health counselor, Renee Parker, with me. And we're going to be talking about some Q&A about the conversation of GLP-1 and why to activate your body with that protein. So, Renee, thank you for your time. And can you start off by telling us what is GLP-1?
Oh, Mary, thank you for allowing me to speak on this topic. It's one that has become out of necessity, something that I've done a lot of research on, and I'm happy to share some of it. What is GLP-1? Well, it stands for glucagon-like peptide 1, and that really doesn't tell us anything. It is one of the natural hormones our body makes. There's actually a GLP-2. And as you know, there are a lot of hormones in the body. These are specific hormones to whether or not we're hungry or full. So people say, well, don't you just know when you eat, you get full? Well, actually, when you eat, well, let's just say when you're hungry, there's a hormone that tells your brain, gosh, wouldn't waffles be great? Or wouldn't a steak be good this evening, right? That hormone is a hormone for survival that tells your body it needs energy, it needs sustenance. And then you eat the food that you've prepared or gone out to eat, and that's supposed to kick in another hormone to tell the brain I'm full. GLP-1 is that hormone, one of several actually, it's called a satiety or fullness hormone, and it is made in your gut, and the movement of the food inside the digestive tract or inside the stomach actually begins to send a signal to the brain, along with a couple of other hormones that say, that's it, we've had enough to eat. So GLP-1 is simply one of the main hormones that helps us feel full, tells the brain, not the gut, that we've had enough to eat.
Okay, well, that was helpful right off the bat. Um, can you talk about, I guess I've heard that topic quite a bit in the last year or so in the health community. Can you talk about what has been available to consumers and now this new approach of activating our body to make this protein?
Absolutely. So, this is the exciting part to me. GLP-1 is something that our bodies naturally make. And then, just like other processes in the body, due to age or even traumatic brain injury, due to illness, do you ever notice how when you don't feel well, you're not as hungry? Or there are times when you know you've eaten, but you're still hungry, like a little while later, like, why am I hungry? I've already eaten. Well, those hormones can get knocked out of whack. And many years ago, scientists began to study particularly GLP-1 for its ability to make you full, because when you're full, you don't eat as much. And when you don't eat as much, your blood sugar doesn't go out of whack as much.
Mm-hmm.
So the original GLP-1, we'll use the term agonist, in other words, in place of, the GLP-1 shots came into being. And that happened originally back in the 80s, but today those shots have a number of names. If you're taking the shot for control of diabetes, you're either taking a product called Ozempic, or you're taking a product called Manjaro.
Mhm.
Everybody seems very familiar with those. Well, when the FDA approved those, they were just for, these are synthetic hormones that are designed for this one process. Well, it had a side effect. And the side effect was people that were on these shots were losing weight. So fast forward a few years, the first one was Ozempic created a product that was used just for weight loss. It had to have a different name. The FDA said you can't use Ozempic for both diabetes and for weight control. So the
Mhm.
same product, the exact same formula that is Ozempic, is also called Wegovy.
Oh.
Same for Manjaro. Manjaro said, hey, we're a diabetes medicine.
Mhm.
And the distinction between the two, Ozempic raises synthetically GLP-1 in the body, while Manjaro actually overrides two hormones that we make. It puts two synthetic hormones into the body to cause satiety. But if you're not taking Manjaro for diabetes, you would want its mirror product called Zepbound. And it's exact same formulation, exact same product, just different names. And then there's another whole category called compounded products, where you're not even getting either of those FDA regulated products, but instead something formulated up at the local pharmacy that is supposed to do the same thing. They compound it just like drugs are compounded at the pharmacy. However, the FDA and most doctors will tell you, unless there's some very extenuating circumstance, you want to stay away from these compounded formulations of GLP-1 because there is no regulation. They're synthetic, and yet because, and we'll talk about the side effects, all of these cause side effects, but there's no regulatory body behind the compounded versions. When you are able to not use those and find a way to naturally increase the GLP-1 in your body, in other words, to activate what has maybe gone awry, and you can, then you don't have those side effects. You're actually finding ways through nutrition. And I talk about nutrition in three ways. We know that it's energy, and we know that it is a food, I should say. Food is energy and food is nutrition. Food is also signals. Food, and I'll put supplements into that category. These are the three prongs. So we've got energy and body nutrition and signals. Food goes in and creates certain signals in the body. And if we can put the right signals in, we can activate lots of processes in the body. And we've learned that GLP-1 is one that we can naturally activate.
Well, that sounds like something a lot of people should learn about, if we can naturally activate that rather than synthetic adding to our body. So that's really exciting. Can you talk more about what are the benefits of taking this activation option?
Approach,
yeah, that approach.
Well, number one, let's talk about the side effects of the non-natural approach.
Okay.
You may have heard, or you may know someone, or you may be taking what we call the shots for weight loss, right? They're everywhere. Everybody's hearing about it. But some of the side effects, you may be familiar with: nausea, vomiting, headaches, dizziness, even fatigue. I don't know about you, but if one of my grandkids came to me and they had nausea for 3 or 4 days in a row, that's not common. Or if they had nausea even once a week, because many times people who take these shots have something each week. It's a weekly injection, and they experience some sort of mild side effect every single week. And that's not normal. Some of the other side effects that we know about, one of the products has what's called a black box warning for thyroid cancer. And that's because the GLP-1 hormone, the natural one or the synthetic one, it's not just a gut fix or a gut made hormone. There are receptors for it in something called the hypothalamus inside the deep part of your brain. And the hypothalamus controls things like pituitary and endocrine systems, all different, even your thyroid, which is part of the pituitary process, right? So when a synthetic version goes in, that plastic or synthetic product is basically riding over, controlling these systems of the body. And what's really concerning about that is when the natural GLP-1 is there doing things that it's supposed to in a good way, scientists are telling us that they still don't know exactly how that process works. So when we put the synthetic version in, we're overriding a natural process that we're not even sure how it does what it does. Other side effects have included, in my own case, I was actually taking the GLP-1 for high blood sugar back last year. I have a genetic propensity for diabetes, and my blood sugar had gone up, and the doctor, sweet person, recommended getting on. She said, "Hey, your insurance is going to cover it. And who knows, you may lose a few pounds. And I
Mhm.
threw caution to the wind. Oh, I may lose a few pounds was really what I heard, right?
Sounds good to me.
Good to me.
Right.
So ordered it. It came first shot. It didn't feel just right. And it was more here than, but
Mm.
I also had some stomach upset and just didn't feel myself. The
Mhm.
second week it was worse, and I called the doc and they said, your body's just getting used to it. That's the lowest dose. You're just getting used to it. By the third week, I had a gastric event that has caused now something called gastroparesis, which is
Mm.
one of the known side effects. Gastroparesis is paralysis of the digestive tract.
Mm.
And
Okay.
I may never, they're saying I may never overcome it, even though I only took the product for 3 weeks.
Sure. Sure.
And that the gastro event that I had was in January, and the resulting gastroparesis is now we're in October. So has been
Okay.
going on for many months, and they're telling me that my body may never recover. There's
Okay.
also another side effect of blindness that people are
Mhm.
just beginning to learn about. You see, the ocular nerve sits right
Mhm.
in front of that hypothalamus, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So the optic nerve comes in. If you're looking at an eyeball, it's round on this side, but it's kind of flat on the back side. This is
Mhm.
the ocular part back here. Well, the
Mhm.
optic nerve comes in here and goes into that part of the brain, as do the blood vessels into the eye.
Mhm.
And there's a swelling that takes place with the synthetic version of these drugs. And this swelling is not, there are no nerve endings back here, so you don't feel pain. All that
Mm.
happens is you go blind, and it's
Wow.
instant.
Wow.
And people that have experienced it who get off the product have not yet, no one has had their vision recover.
Mm.
From thyroid
Mm.
to gastric to eye problems, there are large reasons, or large issues and reasons. And we have only been on these products for a short time as the world is on them. And
Right. Right.
we have no idea what's coming.
What's coming?
I haven't
Right.
done research. Yeah.
Right. So tell us about activating our body in the natural way with this GLP-1 activator, and how that might overall health, of course, but I know there's something about the brain gut connection, and
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, we have gut feelings, right?
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
and feelings come from here.
Mhm.
We've known for a long time, even if we didn't know that there's a connection between the gut and the brain. And I'm sure researcher Jackie Shepard has talked with you and
Mhm.
to some degree. So, but we know that it exists.
Mhm.
And when things are just like I didn't feel right, not only in my gut, but in my brain when I was taking that synthetic version, when you can activate this hormone in your body to do what it's supposed to do, you lose brain fog, you have more energy, you feel better.
Mhm.
You're
Mhm.
also going to know things there are, that GLP-1 works with more than just your gut and your brain. There are cardioprotective pieces of this.
Mhm.
The natural version does work in those deep parts of the body, the thyroid, the endocrine system, pituitary, these
Mm.
special areas of the body that when the GLP-1 is in the driver's seat, the
Mhm.
natural one, it's a systemic approach.
Mm.
And
Wow.
coming out this week, there's going to be a product from a company that specializes in activating natural processes in the body.
Mhm.
And from what I've learned about um, this product, now you can do activation with lots of different types of food. For
Mhm.
instance, raspberries can
Mhm.
help, but they're not available year round. And
Mhm.
I had been working on a GLP-1 lifestyle, and let me tell you, that's kind of like a keto lifestyle, only GLP-1 driven for that hormone. It's
Okay.
tough. It's
Sure.
tough. So that
Okay.
this research company, this bio company, has created a way for us to more fit into our lifestyle, a way to upregulate that GLP-1 without
Okay.
synthetics, without harm to the body. The body's doing its own thing. That's a much better
Mm.
process. And what I've learned about this product just in the last few days, remember I mentioned that we have several hormones that do a little bit on hunger and a lot on fullness. And
Hmm. Hmm.
Ozempic specifically regulates GLP-1
Right.
synthetically, and Manjaro synthetically regulates GLP-1 and one more.
Hmm.
We can naturally upregulate these hormones. This product helps our body to re-engage four satiety hormones.
Okay. Wow.
So, so it helps to better, your body is just better able to say, you know what, I want a cookie. And you get the cookie and you're like, I'm done. I don't want another cookie.
Sure.
But we're coming up on diet sabotage season.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
You know, we have October 31st. We have Thanksgiving. We have Christmas. We have New Year's. And all of those are specifically designed to throw us off, the weight game, right? To try
Right.
to
Right.
try, I think they're their own purpose, just to, you know. So the holiday season is upon us. And wouldn't it be great? I'm excited about the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to be able to work with friends like you and on a journey and be able to say, you know what? I went to that Christmas party and the banana pudding didn't even appeal to me this year. I
Mm-hmm.
always
Hmm.
have banana pudding.
Right.
I didn't even want any. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and to know that you can have a little and not need a lot. And that's been my problem with my blood sugar. I'm okay if I don't eat, but if I
Hmm.
have one, I'm going to eat the whole bag.
Yeah. Right.
And
Right.
that's because my GLP-1 has been off.
Well, it sounds very promising. I know that I've been watching this conversation for a while and have been very apprehensive of what has been available, and so I'm really interested and excited for what is coming out soon, um, and want to share it with people who are interested too. How can we get a hold of these new products when they are available, and how does that work?
Well, the company that makes it, they're known as the Activation Company,
Hmm.
and they've been around for a decade and a half.
Hmm.
And it's a publicly traded health and wellness company. The best thing to do, I guess, because they're not a company that sells to the general public
Hmm.
in the respect that their products aren't sold on retail shelves. So
Yeah.
you need to connect with someone who has access to this company, who
Mhm.
knows a little bit more about these products, can share the benefits of them, and connect that way. You're one of those people, right?
That's right.
And so people can connect with you or someone in your world
Yep.
and learn more about them
Right.
and connect with the company that way. The One of the things I like about this activation company is just the amount of research that they do
Yeah.
on their products. You never know. Even when you go to a vitamin shop or a store that sells these types of goods, are these any better than what's on the big box shelves? Are they
Right.
really, are they just more expensive? So to be able to actually see research that
Hmm.
this company has done and that third party validation companies have also done on their products is a big plus for,
Absolutely.
and that's why there's confidence. In fact, because the company is publicly traded, I was watching their stock, and in the course when the results of this GLP-1 activation system, it's actually a two-part system.
Hmm.
Uh, it's a fiber type product, and then a couple of activation. That's what I call them. I don't call them supplements because they don't supplement; they're
Yeah.
activators. But
Right.
they're capsules that you
Yeah.
take. When the first trial was done, the company stock doubled based on those results. So they're real, and it's real.
What
The
I what
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
what I like is that the science is solid and they're very credible, and lives are being changed, and I'm excited to see this in action. I've been
Yes,
watching a lot of people try it out. So thank you for your sharing today, and we'll just continue to make this available. Thank you so much.
glad to be here.